Right now on Clark Howard's Ways to Save, beating inflation.
It shouldn't be that high.
Clark goes shopping and walks you through finding the best deals. Plus, stopping online scammers.
The criminals are smart. They adapt.
Clark gives his #1 pick for password security and preventing major car troubles like this.
There was no warning, no engine light went on.
The driver reached out to us during her months-long search for action. Clark's advice on being your own detective. Clark Howard's Ways to Save starts right now.
Hi, I'm Clark Howard. Automakers recall tens of millions of cars, trucks, and SUVs every year. It's really a shocking amount. One driver says her SUV exploded without warning, but there were no open recalls on the vehicle. She reached out to our Justin Gray.
It shook the building.
An explosion while Amy Henry was inside her doctor's office.
People came out and like, oh my God, a bomb went off.
But it was no bomb. It was a car. Amy Henry's car, a 2017 Mercedes GLS 450.
There was no warning, no engine light went on when I was driving. Nothing, no indication that it would just explode.
Henry had been behind the wheel just minutes earlier.
I turned the car off. I jumped out and I said, just give me 2 minutes. I have to run up and put my name in.
You can see what happened next, and it started Henry on a hunt for answers, an investigation of her own.
This might happen to other people or has happened to other people, and they need to be aware of it.
Henry reported the fire to police, to Mercedes, to government regulators. Mercedes even sent out an investigator.
They should do something about it instead of waiting for someone to get killed or injured.
While there is a recall for potential fire danger for 2021 to 2024 Mercedes SUVs, that component is not in Henry's 2017 model. Michael Brooks from the Center for Auto Safety says even for federal investigators, it's tough to identify if there's a larger safety issue.
It really comes down to a kind of a model by model, year by year, case by case look at what actually happened.
Brooks says first step for owners like Amy Henry is to file a complaint with the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA.
It's important for consumers to report it to the federal government so that they can at least have a head start and a heads up that there might be a problem in those vehicles and they can start looking at it.
We checked NHTSA records for those pre-2020 Mercedes SUVs like Henry's and found 24 similar complaints. A Washington family says their 2017 GLS 450, the same year and model as Henry's, caught on fire after they pulled in the garage from a short drive on local streets, which resulted in a total loss of our house. The owner of a 2016 350 says we were driving in the street and just suddenly the front of the car was on fire. We stopped the car and we had almost no time to get out.
I certainly think it's something that Mercedes should take a deeper look at to figure out if they might have, an ongoing problem here.
Nearly 6 months after the explosion, Mercedes-Benz wrote Amy Henry that her car, quote, did not suffer from a product defect or malfunction.
That's going to be what you hear a lot from manufacturers.
Mercedes claims instead a missing oil filter cap caused this fire. But Henry says she had not recently had any oil changes or vehicle services where a cap could have been removed, and there were no oil smells or warning lights.
Literally, by the grace of God, I was not killed. My children weren't killed. No one was injured. My house didn't explode, but the what ifs were there.
A Mercedes spokesperson tells us that they initiated a thorough review, including an inspection of Amy's vehicle, and did not find a defect. Clark, this is why it's so important. You don't just report this to the manufacturer, but you report it to federal regulators.
Yeah, but I'm smiling about a terrible situation because what was left there for them to inspect at that point? It was so fried. One thing is this middle course, technical service bulletins, TSBs, and if a vehicle's not recalled, a lot of times there are these internal bulletins that automakers issue to their dealers, and it's really good for her to go do detective work and see if there's a TSB on a potential problem that could cause a fire in her make and year. And as Justin mentioned, the Center for Auto Safety is your friend when you have an issue with your car. Check out what they might know about it at autosafety.org. And if you want to see what the feds know, you go to the website nhtsa.gov, and that's where you'll see info on active recalls. For most people, buying a home is the biggest purchase you'll ever make in your lifetime. I want to make sure what happened to one woman doesn't happen to you. Her dream purchase left her facing steep fines and crazy complicated paperwork.
I just feel like these people kind of stole a piece of my heart.
For first-time homebuyer Anissa Roberts, this home was the perfect fit.
It was very cozy and it looked like me.
5 months after she moved in, Roberts put up a privacy fence. A few months later, this bright yellow sign was posted on her front door.
This notice was placed here on June 25th, approximately 2:55. It's a stop work order.
Not only for the fence, but a laundry list of upgrades done without the proper permits before she owned the home.
My life was turned upside down. And I feel like part of my happiness in my home has been destroyed.
With looming deadlines, Roberts had no choice but to move forward on fixing the issues.
I want to protect my home. I love my home. I'm not going to let whatever these people did to me tarnish what I worked so hard for.
When it comes to real estate, you buy it, and if it's broken, it's your problem.
Erin Glenn is a real estate attorney. She says getting action can be hard.
Is it cheaper and faster for me to fix the problem, or is it a route I want to take with trying to get somebody else who's notoriously done the wrong thing and try and think they're going to do the right thing for me this one time?
That's why it's so important to do your homework before you buy a home. Look at Google Maps or old real estate photos to see what the house used to look like. If it looks like work's been done, ask all the questions. Were the contractors licensed and insured? Were permits pulled? And ask for proof. If they can't provide it,
That is your opportunity to walk away unscathed. But once you sign that contract and furthermore sign that loan agreement with your mortgage company, the house is yours.
for Roberts, the financial burden added up quickly.
I was so close to thinking I was going to lose my home.
Almost 4 months later, multiple failed inspections, holes in her walls to check wiring, and thousands of dollars in repairs and fees. Robert's permit nightmare is finally over.
And so when she came and gave me the good news today, I gave her a big hug and I said, now I can rest and sleep. So I am so, so happy.
You have to protect yourself before you close. If you or your inspector see renovations or additions to the home, you want to demand proof of permits, or flat out, you don't buy it. There's one type of real estate that isn't a deal at all. It's timeshares. And timeshares had fallen out of favor with people because of all the horror stories. But suddenly, they're hot again and really in with people in their 20s and 30s. Now not called timeshares. Usually they're called vacation interval or vacation clubs or something like that. But let me tell you why this is dangerous to your wallet. You enter into an open contract that you are obligated to. You have to pay whatever the timeshare developer says. And if you try to get out, nobody wants the thing. Maybe it's fun while you use it. When you don't want to use it anymore, you are stuck. In this economy, money is so hard to come by. You've got to be careful with everything you buy, where you buy it, and when you buy it too.
All right, I'll see you next time.
Sure, everything is so much more expensive. You know, it's way harder to live.
A lot of us need 2 jobs. And you make it hard for us to get this, get that.
Everywhere I look, all my bills, my household, internet service, phone service, everything is just climbing.
And nowhere is the climbing cost more evident than the grocery store.
Like $5.99 for coffee creamer is insane.
Eggs should not be $5, no, $10, almost $8 for it shouldn't be that high.
But it could get even higher. According to the Consumer Price Index in 2026, prices for all food are predicted to increase 2.7%. There's one simple change you can make to keep your costs down. Buy store brand. Name brand rice, $4.28. Great value at Walmart, $1.68. That's $2.40 you keep in your wallet. You'll save $4.30 by skipping organic eggs. And follow my reverse shopping list rule. Build your list using the weekly coupons and shop the deals. Speaking of deals,
we're seeing a lot of people that really respond to deals that are under $10.
Karis Brown runs ClarkDeals.com.
I think everyone's feeling a bit pinched with their budgets.
When it comes to inflation in your retirement,
so inflation will ebb and flow, and it'll happen pretty quickly from year to year. It's really difficult to try to adjust your 401k thinking, I'm just going to get out of the market when we have high inflation and then get back in when inflation's better.
Wes Moss is an investment advisor. He says while the headlines can be scary, keep saving.
So if money is sitting under the mattress, not earning something, inflation is clipping away at the power of that money, no matter what. So one of the very few elixirs in order to protect our purchasing power, meaning that we can be able to afford retirement in 10 years and 20 years, is to have our money grow along with inflation.
Inflation has been so ugly the last 7 years, but there is good news. A lot of prices are not going up like they were before. Over the next few years, I think we're going to catch our breath on prices.
Still to come, sticker shock for prescriptions.
It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
We found a $600 price difference for Ozempic from one pharmacy to another. Clark's advice for affordable choices. Waiting for a tax refund? A warning about surprise messages on your phone. Right now, criminals are busy trying to steal from us.
This isn't set it and forget it.
Clark shows you how to lock down your personal information. That's next.
Your information, including passwords, is out there. Mine too. But there are things we can do about it. You can't do everything, but there are steps that you can take that'll make it tougher for a criminal to cause havoc in your life.
From passwords to social security numbers, your supposedly private information could be sitting on criminal databases just waiting to be used. The first step to protecting your identity and wallet:
freeze your credit. It's something you do at Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and it keeps a crook from pretending to be you and opening up credit in your name. And the best part, a credit freeze by law is free.
No, don't just freeze and forget. Monitor your credit for free with Credit Karma. The site lists your reported credit accounts, recent inquiries, and you are able to make sure no bad actors are pretending to be you.
Another free app is Permission Slip from Consumer Reports. It allows you to see what data certain companies are tracking on you. You can tell them, stop selling your data, even tell them to delete your account altogether.
Just make sure that account is one you don't use anymore before you delete it for good, or you could lose any unused credits or loyalty points. For passwords, check them on haveibeenpwned.com to see if they're commonly used. The site is run by Troy Hunt, a web security expert and Microsoft Regional Director. Over the last 4 years, the FBI has sent Hunt passwords they've recovered from hackers.
If you're like me, it's so difficult to come up with unique passwords and remember them. So use a password manager. They're great. They'll create a unique password for everywhere that's hard to crack. They encrypt them, and then they autofill them for you.
Or in my opinion, the best security, passkeys. The tech uses biometric data from your phone, like Face ID or thumbprint, to log into your accounts, so there's no password to be stolen.
Here's the hard part. This isn't set it and forget it. You can go through and do these things, and then you think you never have to worry again? The criminals are smart. They adapt. They're always looking for ways to steal from you and me. So stay on top of your personal data before a criminal uses it to hurt you. And speaking of hurting you, you work hard for your money, you're waiting for a tax refund, and then you get a text or an email saying, we have information about your tax refund. You click on it, what are they looking for? Usually, most years, your Social Security number and other personal information. The IRS is not sending you a text or an email. When you get something like that, don't take the bait, delete it. Romance scammers are always looking to prey on people, looking for relationships. The con artists leave victims with a broken heart and drained bank accounts. AARP says adults aged 50 to 64 are especially at risk of being targeted. The FBI believes seniors are often at risk because they tend to be more trusting and polite.
You create this trusting bond with this person, and once that they know that you trust them, they're going to start asking you for money.
These types of cons have skyrocketed in recent years. The Federal Trade Commission says in 2020, financial losses from reported romance scams were $600 million. In 2024, those losses jumped 4 times over to $2.4 billion.
Still to come, Clark is known across the country for saving people money.
From renting an apartment, to hiring a contractor.
The simple rules he wants you to live by. Plus, where you get your prescription filled can make a big difference in price. Good news about affordable options. Next on Clark Howard's Ways to Save.
Many of us are struggling to afford prescriptions, and often the pricing system is confusing and frustrating. Where you get your medicine filled can make a big difference in the price. And sometimes you could save hundreds of dollars driving to a different store. Here's Jeff Deal.
Getting prescriptions filled can bring worry and uncertainty.
Healthcare is expensive. And I work in healthcare.
Martavia Brown runs a home healthcare business in Central Florida, and she's seen it firsthand. Patients cutting back on other things just to afford their medications.
Especially for our older people, it's been very hard for them.
Not surprising to Meredith Basie, CEO of nonprofit Patients for Affordable Drugs.
Americans pay between 4 and 8 times what patients in other countries pay for the very same brand name prescription drugs.
Basie said 1 in 3 Americans struggle to afford their medications.
The key piece here is that it's very opaque, which means that it's hard for patients to really know exactly what's going on and how much they're going to pay.
She said drug makers set the list price and typically try to extend their monopoly on their drugs for as long as possible. Then insurance companies and pharmacy benefits managers, the so-called middlemen in the drug trade, get involved and work out different deals. So drug prices can vary greatly depending on your plan and even the store you choose.
So you do have coupons, you do have options, and maybe discounted programs that your doctor's office can refer you to.
Martavia found sometimes drugs are cheaper if you don't use insurance, and shopping around does help. The state of Florida even started a website, MyFloridaRx, to help patients search out the best deal on some of the most common drugs where they live. You can select a county and the drug type and see which store is best for you. We found this antibiotic $6 at one store, $15 at another. And check out Ozempic, a more than $600 difference from one pharmacy to another.
Being a patient, especially in the United States, relying on a prescription drug to survive is, navigating hurdles day to day, and that can be extremely frustrating.
Emma Bella Rudd has type 1 diabetes. Her battle to secure insulin to survive prompted her to become a patient advocate for affordable drugs. She's seen other diabetics stop paying bills and even beg for a vial of insulin just to get by. While she and Meredith Basie agree efforts like shopping around and looking for discounts are good in the short term, they believe ultimately real change will come from Capitol Hill, where more laws can be passed to make the price of drugs more affordable and transparent for patients.
They're fighting for pricing. It's just crazy. It's just crazy.
The good news on prescription drugs is there are a lot of affordable choices now for about 80% of the prescriptions we fill, which are generics. The warehouse clubs are amazingly cheap compared to other sources. But let's say you're not a member of one of the warehouse clubs. If you can shop Amazon, which is a big player in prescription drugs, you might save money. And Mark Cuban's Cost Plus Drugs is another wonderful source where you should comparison shop. And here's a shocking one. Many times, paying cash for a prescription drug that's a generic is cheaper than using your pharmacy benefits plan from work.
When we come back, Clark's never, 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 not ever rules.
For decades, I've been giving you advice on saving money, warning about scams, and protecting your wallet. I have a few simple rules that you can follow that will help you and your money stay safe. What are they? Never, 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 and not ever check your laptop or your prescription pills, because you're going to need these. And if this gets lost or stolen, the airline's going to pay you nothing.
If your bag is delayed or worse, the airline loses it. Trying to get that prescription replaced, it's a headache medicine won't fix. Carry it on the plane with you. And when you're shopping for a car,
you never, 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 not ever make your deal at the dealer, because they have home field advantage, and therefore they're gonna win almost every time. You want to have home field advantage by playing hard to get and doing your shopping from your home. So every dealer has to compete against each other, and then I get the offer I want in writing. No games.
and never trade in a vehicle you still owe money on. Trusting the dealer will pay off your old loan or adding the remaining balance to your new loan is a disaster for your wallet. And speaking of your wallet, never pay an advance deposit with cash or a debit card.
No matter what, from renting an apartment, hello, to hiring a contractor, hammer, to putting a deposit on a wedding dress, or booking travel. If the business goes bust, you lose your cash. So pay with a credit card because you're much more likely to get your money back.
And never invest with a bank or insurance company with hidden fees and extra charges that aren't going to benefit your future self. Where should you go? An ultra low-cost company like Vanguard, Schwab, or Fidelity. There are no exceptions to these rules. Never, 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 not ever.
If you want the complete list of my never rules, you can find them on Clark.com. Thank you for watching. I'm Clark Howard.